After failing her social work licensing exam 3 times, subscriber to the channel, Arlisha, wrote in asking for some help and advice. And I told her she didn't actually need her license. And I'll tell you why. Hi guys, I'm Eva Ford, social worker, mindset mentor, and coach. And on this channel, I talk about all things social work, money, and mindset to help you live your richest life. Now, a subscriber to the mailing list, Arlisha, responded to an email that I had sent out asking if anybody had any questions. And she actually responded. And this is what she said. She said, "How can I pass my LMSW exam? I've taken this exam 3 times and I'm not passing. Any tips or recommendations would be greatly appreciated. Not having my license is really holding me back from progressing in my career path. I have a plan and a dream. Can't get there without this license though. Help if you can. Thanks." Now, I immediately was taken with this question because Arlisha is actually not the first or second or third person to say this. I'm in a couple Facebook groups and other groups where social workers gather, and this topic of having a license comes up all the time. People are so obsessed with getting their license. So when I read Arlisha's question, the thing that struck me was that she said that not having her license was holding her back. And then what struck me is that she said she had a dream and a plan, but she didn't feel like she could make the leap or get there without having her license. I got really curious about this because there was one time when I might have agreed with her, but now that I have more of a rich social work mentality or wealth mentality, I question everything that comes up and that sounds like a limitation. And if you haven't seen my video on creating a rich social work mentality, I'll put the link up there somewhere and you can watch that. But I was curious and I wanted to reach out to her to find out a little bit more. So we had a conversation, and what came up for her is this: that Arlisha does something that's really unique. She loves interior designing, and her idea was to design therapeutic spaces for clients who maybe were suffering with anxiety or depression or other mental or behavioral health issues. And she felt like the license, she had to have the license in order to give her clout and credibility. Now let's talk a little bit about what the social work license is first, and then I'll tell you what I told Arlisha. So keep in mind, if you look at the history, the social work license has only existed in the U.S. for about 75 years. And before then, social workers were practicing, doing all the things that social workers do. And even now, in many states, in most states, you do not have to have a license to practice as a social worker. Your degree is significant enough, especially if you're not doing clinical social work. And then keep in mind too that social work's value, and this is what I really want social workers to get, that our value is not necessarily in the license initially. Our value is in the training that we get as social workers. It's in the knowledge, it's in the values, it's in the skills that are so unique to our profession. It's the ability to identify issues and address problems. It's the ability to identify resources and pull those together, to communicate with people. It's the ability to analyze a problem from many different perspectives. But I think what's happened in our profession is we've got so caught up in this idea that you've got to have your license in order to make a decent living and have money, and that's actually not true. And if you subscribe to this channel, you'll be able to see I have tons of interviews coming up with social workers who, some have their licenses, some don't, but they've been able to earn a lot of money with the skills that social work has provided them. And they're social workers, they're qualified social workers. All right, so when Arlisha and I were discussing, And I heard what she really wanted to do, which is so beautiful and so noble and so wonderful. I was able to put on my rich social worker hat and think from my wealth mentality perspective. And I made a suggestion to her. And it's something that she had actually done in the past. Because think about it like this. If we're really talking about making more money, and for Arlisha, the clientele that she was looking at helping were people who probably didn't have a lot of money to begin with, that really wasn't going to help her in her pursuit. So my suggestion to her was this: why not find therapists who have offices who need to create therapeutic spaces for their clients and help them do that? Most therapists I know don't actually know about color palettes and feng shui and the how to really create a therapeutic environment in the way that maybe she would, because she's combining the social work skills and her interior decorating skills. And those therapists, those practitioners, actually would have the money to pay her. And she's in an area where word of mouth can get around, and she can share with people what she does. She can share information and share advice, thereby leveraging her skills to make more money. And if you haven't seen my video on how to do that, you want to check that out too. I'll put the link in the description. But do you see how having a license wouldn't necessarily benefit her if she's primarily going to be highlighting her interior design skills? Yes, having a license will assist, but she's got her social work degree, which is plenty. And the other thing, when you're looking to package your products and services, there's another video up on the channel about packaging. When you're looking to package your products and services, keep in mind that you get to share with people who you are, what you bring to the table. People don't necessarily always care about the letters behind your name. They want to see what you can do. They want to see the results that you can create. And you want to watch that video that I have on how to position yourself as an expert. Let's get a better understanding about the value of licensing. Dyson said in 2004, licensing has been an important strategy for acquiring professional privilege and for competing with other professions. Keep that in mind. It does not say that you are any less valuable if you don't have a license. And again, I think sometimes we get those two confused, and we think that if we don't have our license, we can't actually share our knowledge and values and skills with the people who need them. And that's simply not true. Now, I'm happy to report that since meeting with Arlisha, she has successfully started her business, and she has an Instagram page. So I want to encourage you to follow her at Decorating with Purpose on Instagram. Now, if you've been having the same type of struggle, either you haven't gotten your license yet, or you haven't passed it, or you're feeling like you're not going to be able to do what you want to do without your license, I want you to consider Arlisha's story, and I want you to think about how else you could approach your situation. How else can you think about doing what you want to do? How else can you think about serving without having your license? Now, I'm not trying to discourage you from getting your license, but if money is the reason why you're wanting to get your license, I want you to think about some other ways you could leverage your skills so that having your license or not having your license may not be as critical as you think it is. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think about having a license, not having a license. Have you passed your exam? Is this something that's important to you? And share it with somebody who you know might be struggling with the same issue. Thanks for being here. See you next time.